From the Classic 107 studios in downtown Winnipeg, 107 Live for Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.
And this edition of this intimate concert series we have here in the studio, we have invited a jazz quintet from Vincent Massey. Kids, it's all yours. Snaps. That was great, guys. Thank you so much. We have Vincent Massey Collegiate's Jazz Quintet here in the studio on 107 Live, brought to you as always by Birchwood Jaguar, as part of the 41st Annual Optimist Festival, Winnipeg Band Festival that happens annually. The first week, all concert band, and this week, all jazz at North Kildonan Mennonite Brethren Church. And hey, we have a really talented young group of musicians here in the studio with us. I would love to introduce them. Here we have Sean on bass. Give our webcam a wave, Sean. And we have Miss Anica on keys. Eric, give a wave. This is our kit player. And then Nicole on bari sax and James on trombone. James has been here before. And you know what? Why don't we start with you, James? So, because since you've been here before, we're going to swing the mic to you. And you can serve as an example for your peers. So tell us what the biggest difference between this week and last week was for you, or it has been for you.
Well, in terms of like performance, as in like
just the feel, the music, the people, the adjudicators, the experience.
Well, I didn't quite go to Jazz Optimist this year, but last week I feel like Optimist on the classical side went very well.
Yeah.
Our wind ensemble, Vincent Massey, did exceptional, and
Oh, that's great! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And so now, have you guys played yet at the festival this year?
This year,
or for the jazz festival, the jazz side.
For the jazz festival, I haven't played.
Oh, you haven't played yet.
No.
Okay, so you're green now. You're like a newbie. Do you mind? Could you turn off the I don't know. I think the keyboard. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, it was just messing with the microphone. It's weird, electromagnetic force, how it works. Anyway,
well, I played last year with Optimist, but this year the intermediate and senior jazz at our school don't go to Optimist. They go to Banff.
Oh. Well, I mean, getting all fancy schmancy on us and go to Banff. But that's amazing. That's a wonderful opportunity that you guys have. That's great. And you guys go and jam in Banff.
Yeah. It's
Magical.
going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Is it at the Banff Center that you go and hang out at? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a nod from Sean, our bass player. Speaking, hey, why don't we swing the mic over to Sean? All right. So tell us a little bit about like these fun extracurricular band activities that you get to do. Because, I mean, you get to rehearse at school, and that's fun because you're making music with your peers, of course, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But what about these fun extracurricular things that you get to do outside of school, like the Optimist Festival and like Banff?
It's just such a great opportunity, especially with Optimist, just to kind of share everything that we've been working on and been creating with the community, and seeing all the band teachers and all the other bands from other schools just there and appreciating our music, and then us appreciating their music. It's really great to see the entire band community there, and it's just like it's something to work towards when you're practicing. Whereas when you are practicing just for fun, it's a fantastic time, but you don't really have you don't have a goal.
Right. So it standardizes an experience, so that you can have an even greater freedom while you're there to enjoy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that a lot. Let's talk to Anica, because, you know, I was a classical piano kid, and I can't read chord symbols to save my life. Like I'm like I plug out the bass line. But tell us, did you start with classical piano?
About 8 years ago, when I was 7, I started piano, and when I was in grade 7, I saw at my middle school, I saw that that jazz piano was something that I didn't really know that it was a thing, and so I always thought, like, I didn't have any doubt in my mind, like, when I knew I was going to take band, and so I knew that in grade 8 I really wanted to try the piano because I really enjoyed classical piano, and I don't think I realized how big of a difference it really was. There's just so much more freedom, and just in terms of like the chords and everything, like they give you so much. Like there's so many different things that you can do besides just reading the notes off the page. And so I didn't really fully understand jazz piano until this year, although this is my 3rd year playing. And with like the help of like teachers and all the different opportunities that Massey offers, I feel like I've just really been able to get into it, and it's been really fun. I've really improved since the beginning of the year with kind of just getting the feel for it. I think that's really what jazz is just getting listening to it and getting a feel for it, and that's really all you can do. It's not all about the knowledge as much as classical piano requires.
Our pianist that was here yesterday from Daniel McIntyre said the very same thing. He was like, it's all about feel. It's not about thinking. You just kind of you got to settle into it. Yeah. And voice leading, that's something for me as a classical musician. I'm just like constantly like, oh no, what note goes to which one? I don't know how to make this sound like it belongs together. And it's tough to do. But I mean, once you get that feel and the density of the sound,
definitely.
because you have so many more elements in harmony in jazz. But when you think about it, though, you go back to the Baroque and you look at figured bass. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to do that, but you should go check out some like Baroque music. It's basically the same thing, but it's just numbers instead of chord symbols. You just basically have your bass line and you structure everything on top of that. So I mean, back like 400 years ago, they were doing the same thing. It's not cool.
It's true. It's true. People don't realize it. Yeah.
But just not dense, not as awesome and dense as this stuff is. Anyway, let's talk to our brass players, our wind player, Barry sax player Nicole. Nicole,
Hi.
baritone sax is like my favorite instrument.
Oh,
well, baritone bass. Okay. So tell us why. Tell us why you love it.
I don't know. I started out on Barry sax a little bit later than everyone else. I started out midway through grade 8.
Okay.
Normally start off in grade 6 or 7, but I had a teacher come up to me and he was like, Nicole, you're a really good flute player. I think, would you want to play saxophone in our jazz band? And I was like, you know what? Sure. He's like, okay, so we need either a Barry player or a tenor player. Which one do you want to learn? And I was like, Barry sax, right? I want the big one. So that kind of bit me in the butt years later, having to cart this thing around everywhere. But
well, I mean, you don't have to tell Sean about that, though. Our bass player. Anyway, so sorry. Continue, Nicole.
Anyways, Barry sax, it's one of the grimier jazz instruments. And why do you call it grimier? Grimier?
Tell me why, because I agree with you. But for our listeners who may not kind of understand what the sonic quality of grime or grit may be, please share.
Okay. One man, Ronnie Cuber. That's my man, Ronnie
snaps.
Cuber.
Awesome.
He's one of the Barry sax players that I kind of model my sound after, and also Jerry Mulligan I've been listening to.
Sweet. Yeah. There's some really great low wind players, though. There's a Canadian guy. He does some crazy experimental, like, bass sax stuff. Like, he hooks up his heartbeat to an amp. Like, he has a contact mic, and he plays. He hooks up his contact mic to a bass drum, so that it makes the bass drum vibrate. And then he plays these crazy overtone series. His name is Jason Sharp. Look him up. He's in Montreal. Okay. He's a great guy. Anyway, yeah. All their weird sounds.
Steps right now.
Oh yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the thing is with low brass too is that you have this overtone series that you don't have in the higher in the higher wind and brass families, right? Yeah. And you get to really,
dig in.
Yeah. Okay, so we have one more member of our quintet to talk to, and that is Eric, our drummer.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. I've just been treated to this wonderful jazz combo. I can't be better. I couldn't be better.
Lovely.
So hey, Eric, tell us what drew you to rhythm?
To rhythm? Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about the drum set specifically, I love the power of the drum set.
Yeah.
And
hitting things is fun.
Exactly. and even more than that, like, it's maybe not as apparent in this sort of group, but if we're in like a big band, there's so much power that you have with the drums. You control the dynamics, you control so much, and it's really exhilarating once you start doing it.
I wish more drummers would understand that, though. I mean, to understand the lyric range of the kit. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely true. So that means you're a control freak? Is that what you're telling us?
Maybe a little bit. I can't lie. Yeah.
Amazing. So you're in grade 12, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that you're going to pursue music in a post-secondary kind of thing, or are you just going to jam for good times?
I feel like currently where I'm standing, I feel like I'm probably just going to continue jamming.
Cool.
Playing university concert band a bit, maybe.
Sweet.
Try and maybe look for a jazz group I could play with. And currently I'm thinking about doing engineering at university, but you never know. There might be a a time when I don't feel engineering and I might switch back to music.
Hey man, I was going to be a physicist and I totally changed directions too. So you don't have to tell me. Like, and there are a lot of us though who want to go into math and sciences. I think it's because we see pattern, right?
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what it is we see and we hear pattern. And that's what's beautiful in jazz is when you see these beautiful complex patterns and you can just play within them and some of the great stuff. Okay, so hey, I think we need another tune to play us out. I don't want to keep you guys too long because I'm sure you probably have to practice for Optimist, I'm guessing. And speaking of bands that you can get involved with, the Manitoba Band Association actually has a really, really great resource on their website for community bands that you can go and check out. If you go to mbband.org, there's a whole tab that's for community bands. Check it out and see if you can join, not for just you guys, but for our listenership. Like anybody who wants to go and find a group to jam with, whether it's a concert band or a jazz band, mbband.org. It's a wonderful resource. Also, you can find all of the information about this week's Optimist Festival, the 41st annual happening here in Winnipeg. Last week, the concert band edition happening at the RBC Convention Centre, and this week, once again, at North Kildonan Mennonite Brethren Church. Check the website for ways that you can get involved. And, supporting communal music making is never a bad thing, people. All of these children are beautiful and brilliant and happy, and they like each other. I mean, nothing can do that like music making can do. Right? Yeah, they're all just trying to figure out what tune they're playing. Okay, kids, you got it one more time. Vincent Massey Collegiate's Jazz Quintet. Check them out. Eric, Sean, Anica, Nicole, James, Vincent Massey, Jazz Quintet. Thank you so much for joining us.
107 Live is Classic 107's intimate concert series, brought to you by Birchwood Jaguar, the art of performance.